All right, you are a Fox News analyst, so I want you to take off your political player hat and put the analyst hat on and really try and do your best job, almost like one of the commentators on the Super Bowl.
I'll try. Okay.
All right. Handicap the 2012 GOP presidential race for us. Who's the front runner?
No idea. I have no idea.
Well, you're not a very good analyst.
Well, fire me then, Roger. Sorry, I already failed. But listen, we've have some strong, some young Turks in this party. Paul Ryan, I'm very impressed with Paul Ryan.
Congressman from Wisconsin.
Yeah, he's good, man. He is sharp, he is smart, articulate, and he is passionate about these common sense solutions that America has got to adopt to get us on the right road. I could name a whole lot of people.
Well, what about Romney and Huckabee and Palin?
As I say, I could name a whole lot of them, but we don't have a whole lot of time. But I'm very impressed with many of the characters, the personalities, those with great intelligence in this party, and I can't wait to see who rises to the surface after hopefully some very competitive, contested primaries. I'm all about competition. I'm all about, even on our local level and state level, I want to see contested primaries where we are forced via competition to work harder, produce better, be more efficient, and that's what these contested primaries that I look forward to will produce.
You talk about rising to the top. There's a new poll out this week of Republican voters across the country, and it shows someone named Sarah Palin leading the 2012 race by 5 points over Mitt Romney.
Well,
aren't you the front runner for the nomination?
Nope, don't know who conducted that poll, and I know that polls are fickle, and heck, after this interview, Chris, we may see a plummeting in the poll numbers. Who knows? These are fickle. I can't comment on what the poll numbers mean today.
Why wouldn't you run for president?
I would if I believe that is the right thing to do for our country and for the Palin family. Certainly, I would do so.
And how do you make that decision over the next 3 years?
It's going to be, thankfully, a lot of time to be able to make such a decision. Right now, I'm looking at, as I say, other potential candidates out there who are strong. They're in a position of having kind of this luxury of having more information at their fingertips right now, so that the current events that we're talking about today, wait,
because you're basically saying you will consider it.
I think that it would be absurd to not consider what it is that I can potentially do to help our country. I don't know if it's going to be ever seeking a title, though. It may be just doing a darn good job as a reporter or covering some of the current events.
But you're going to consider, you're going to go through the process of thinking about...
I won't close the door that perhaps could be open for me in the future. I don't want any American to ever close the door in their personal or their professional lives and put themselves in a box and say, heck yeah, I'm going to do that, or no way, I'm not going to do that, when we don't know what the future holds.
There's a report this weekend that you are now getting daily email briefings on domestic and foreign policy issues from a group of top advisors in Washington, D.C. How come?
Ever since our PAC was formed, we have had good people contributing, many volunteers, I guess you would call them advisors, yes, firing away emails to me every morning saying, this is what's happened in Washington overnight, you need to be aware of this. Good, it's great, it's helpful.
Isn't that the move of somebody who is thinking about running for president?
You mean conventionally, how someone would want? I have no idea how conventionally people do this, how they try to open a door that perhaps isn't even open, and if that involves having a group of advisors send them emails every morning. I don't know how any of that stuff works. I don't know. I'm just appreciative of having some good information at my fingertips.
Would you say you're more knowledgeable about domestic and foreign affairs now than you were 2 years ago?
Well, I would hope so. Yes, I am. 2 years ago, my engagement was on the state of Alaska, largest, most diverse state in the Union, 20% of the U.S. domestic supply of energy coming from our state, desiring to and working towards ramping up that domestic energy production. That was my focus. Now, of course, my focus has been enlarged, so I sure as heck better be more astute on these current events, national issues, than I was 2 years ago.
I know that 3 years is an eternity in politics. But how hard do you think President Obama will be to defeat in 2012?
It depends on a few things. Say he played, and I got this from Buchanan reading one of his columns the other day, say he played the war card. Say he decided to declare war on Iran, or decided to really come out and do whatever he could to support Israel, which I would like him to do. But that changes the dynamics in what we can assume is going to happen between now and 3 years. Because I think if the election were today, I do not think Obama would be reelected. But 3 years from now, things could change if on the national security front.
But you're not suggesting that he would cynically play the war card.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying if he did, things would dramatically change. If he decided to toughen up and do all that he can to secure our nation and our allies, I think people would perhaps shift their thinking a little bit and decide, well, maybe he's tougher than we think than he is today, and there wouldn't be as much passion to make sure that he doesn't serve another 4 years.
But
today,
assuming
the election,
that he continues on the path that he's going on, and we don't have that rally around the flag.
Then he's not going to win.
Not going to win.
He's not going to win. If he continues on the path that he has America on today, here's the deal. That's what a lot of Americans are telling him today, and he's not listening. Instead, he's telling everybody else, listen up, and I'll tell you the way it is. Well, we have a representative form of government in our democracy, and we want him and we want Congress to listen to what the things are that we are saying, and that's what the Tea Party movement is about, too. It's not a well-oiled, beautiful machine. It is the people saying, please hear us. Congress, you have constitutional limits, and we want you to adhere to those. We have free market principles that built our country. Mr. President, we want you to remember those. We want you to look back on successes in history, like what Reagan did in times of crisis, and could you repeat those things because they are proven to succeed.
Word is that you're getting $100,000 for this speech this weekend. True?
I'm not getting it. They're writing a check, $100,000 check. And as I have said from day one on this, I'm turning right around and being able to contribute it back to the cause. That means to people, to events.
So you're going to use your PAC and contribute it to candidates?
I don't know if it's going to go to the PAC or if it goes to some nonprofit or what. Bottom line, I'm not personally benefiting from this. And the funny thing is I've had a lot of people, including a couple of talented people and talent at Fox, say, funny thing is about these type of speeches, Sarah, you're an anomaly. Nobody ever has asked, you getting paid for this? Or what are you going to do with the money? But this is the new normal, I think, when it comes to me, is people wanting to have me under a microscope and figure out every little detail of my life, including speaking fees. Bottom line, Tea Party movement, I'm giving the money back to the cause.
Finally, regardless of whether you ever run for political office or not, what role do you want to play in the country's future?
First and foremost, I want to be a good mom, and I want to raise happy, healthy, independent children. And I want them to be good citizens of this great country. And then I do want to be a voice for some common sense solutions. I'm never going to pretend like I know more than the next person. I'm not going to pretend to be an elitist. In fact, I'm going to fight the elitists, because for too often and for too long now, I think the elitists have tried to make people like me and people in the heartland of America feel like we just don't get it and big government's just going to have to take care of us. I want to speak up for the American people and say, no, we really do have some good common sense solutions. I can be a messenger for that. Don't have to have a title to do it.
Can I get a you betcha out of you?
You betcha.
Governor,
it's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now that you've found the way to Fox News Sunday, I hope you'll come back.
Thank you, I will.
We also asked Governor Palin about backing John McCain's bid for re-election despite opposition from some conservatives. You can see that and other parts of the interview right after our program ends on our Wallace Watch blog at foxnewssunday.com.